question or statement like, I'm not blank enough, how would you fill in this blank? Check out the screen. Can you see it over my head here? How would you fill in the blank tonight? Some of us would fill this in. I'm not blank enough. How would you fill it in? Popular? Pretty? Talented? Athletic? Skinny? Accepted enough? I'm not noticed enough? Heard enough? Lucky enough? Let's stick on that for a second, because it wasn't that long ago that you said to yourself, some of us anyway, said to ourselves, if only I could be as lucky as him, or her, or them, or they. It wasn't that long ago that we viewed our life as unlucky, and we just figured, well, if there's lucky people and unlucky people, I'm just an unlucky person. It's funny when we compare ourselves to others, how we can quickly determine our lives as unlucky as opposed to lucky. So how would you fill it in? How would you fill in the blank? If you were told that you didn't measure up somehow, either by someone's words or actions, I think for a lot of us, maybe even today, we had a conversation with ourselves in our own head and our own heart, the way we felt, where we just thought, you know what, I'm just not enough yet. There's just a lot that I need to do, a lot of ways I need to measure up to everybody else. And you were told, if you had that conversation in your own head or by someone else, that it's your fault that you're not enough. And that there's something wrong with you, and so you need to try to catch up to everybody else. Because it's your fault that you're not enough. And let me submit this to you, that any blank you have, any blank you're trying to fill in this way, let me submit this, is a lie. It's a lie. And the lie comes from the devil himself. The devil is real, and this is how Jesus described him in John 8:44. He was a murderer from the beginning. He's always hated the truth because there's no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character. For he is a liar and the father of all lies. And that's where lies come from, is the devil. And so if you've sided with him in believing that, you've chosen to believe a lie. If you have blanks you're trying to fill in, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, then you're believing the lie. And so maybe you're asking, well, if that's a lie, what is truth? Well, the truth is this: you're a miracle. To God, you're a masterpiece. That's the truth. In fact, Psalm 139:13 reminds us, oh yes, you shaped me first inside, then out. You formed me in my mother's womb. I thank you, high God, your breathtaking body and soul. I am marvelously made. It means your physical body, and then your soul. What makes you you? The real you. Not the fake you that you put on for other people. The real you that is not screwed up. That doesn't need a blank to fill in. The real you is a masterpiece. And some of you have forgotten that you yourself are a miracle. In God's view of you, the fact that you're here, you have a heartbeat, you're alive. God celebrated you, created you. But we spend so much of our time trying to fill in the blank of what's not yet there. There's so much missing. We start to believe the lies that we're not miracles, we're not masterpieces. There's actually a lot that we need to fix. And the truth is no, there's not. You being real, the real you, is a miracle because you were created by God and in the image of God. And so what ends up happening, though, is we try to fill in the blanks, we compare ourselves to other people, and then we
we screw things up. Jesus, he helps us look in the mirror and kind of see the real perception of ourselves. He gives us a confidence that we didn't have before we met Jesus. Because he helps us look in the mirror and realize, you know what, I have gifts. I have things that I can offer the world, things that I can offer other people, things that I can offer myself. And I see more clearly now. And Jesus helps us focus on the gifts that God has placed naturally within us. And Satan tries to cover up our gifts with the lies and keep us on this endless search. Like a dog chasing a bone that's not a real bone. You just keep running and running and running and running and tiring yourself out trying to figure out how to fill in the blank. And God's saying, stop, there's no blank to fill in. I've created you, there's gifts in you, and I've made you. And then we look in the mirror and we start to see our gifts, and our whole perspective of ourselves changes. And it's almost like this. In 1 Corinthians, Paul described it this way. Think about your physical body, right? Think about your body parts, hands, feet, head. Now, if I drop this pen, watch what I do to pick it up. My feet move, my knee joints move, my eyes look at it, I pick it up with my hand, everything works properly and functions, and I pick up the pen. Now, what would happen if we took what Paul's example is? Here, let me read it to you. If the foot says, I'm not a part of the body because I'm not a hand, that does not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear says, I'm not a part of the body because I'm not an eye, would that make it any less a part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, how would you hear? Or if your whole body were an ear, how would you smell anything? He goes on, but our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where he wants it. How strange a body would be if it had only one part. Yes, there are many parts, but only one body. The eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. The head can't say to the feet, I don't need you. In fact, some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary. So what's Paul saying? Paul's saying this. Imagine if my hand wants to be the foot, right? Or my foot wants to be the hand. Things get messed up. Things don't function properly. That's our world. A long time ago, our world started believing, humans started believing the lies, and so instead of functioning together, we function against each other. We try to fill in the blank, and we steamroll other people in the process. Some of you have whispered the lies about other people. You've gossiped. You've said mean things to other people that were not of God. You've sided with the devil in bashing people, and even in bashing yourself. God doesn't bash you. God loves you. You're a miracle. Anytime you start to believe the lie, you side with Satan. God hates Satan. So if we side with Satan, does that mean God hates us? No, luckily, God's Son Jesus came to call us back to truth. God doesn't hate us at all. He thinks we're miracles. And he loves you enough to reach down through his Son Jesus, who came to the earth, to tell us we're miracles, to tell us the truth, to tell us to stop believing the lies that we're not enough, and to boost our confidence in who we are and help us focus on our gifts. And so I want to give you an opportunity to chat about this further. Something we're going to do tonight a little differently is split into some small groups.